so let's get into it tonight. Lorabo and the Dagger of Amon, Part 4, 10 hours, 11 minutes in, 7 deaths. I think 2 of these deaths were deliberate. Maybe 3 of them. And then the other 4 were getting rebirted, I guess, is what you would describe those as. Let's see. We are at about midnight-ish, I think, in-game time. Either midnight or 1 a.m. Hey, Keeney. X1 Extreme. Yeah, those are good. I've heard those are good. Much better than the carbons. Let's see. So, things are kind of picking up a little bit. I think either 3 or 4 people have died already. The president of the museum, the snooty English archaeologist, Ziggy, our boy Ziggy, and I think that's it. And then also Laura Bo died a whole bunch because, you know, it's a Sierra game. Let's see. Yvette Delacroix continues to be super shady, and just apparently having sex with literally everybody in the museum in the span of like 2 hours. So, sure, it's a roaring 20s, I guess. We have found the access to the basement of the museum, so that's new. I'm pretty sure I have explored nearly every single part of the museum that I can. So I'm not sure what else I can do about that. Well, I'm underclocking my CPU right now to make the game hopefully bug out less. And I think that brings us to about as far as we've been. So let's jump into it here. Okay. All right, get ready for the best part. I turned on this computer today, and it put me in safe mode for some reason. So I'm not sure what the deal is. This computer. Okay, we ready? Let's do it. Okay, and then I need to remember to change my save location. All right. Okay. You can't trust the mouse on that screen. Okay, so this is save/lb2/01. Okay, there we go. Ooh la la. That was after. Maybe? Like, it wouldn't surprise me. We probably have to go back to the speakeasy though and talk to the lady in the bathroom there. So this was immediately after walking in on Yvette and Ernie up to some funny business on the desk in his office. There is a container here of snake oil.
The container is full of an oily liquid.
And we can refill our bottle of snake oil.
A full bottle of Dr. Moribund's guaranteed snake oil.
Yeah, so we have some snake oil, which according to the weird vampire lady is snake repellent, I guess? I don't know. There hasn't been a reason to use that yet. Though maybe... Huh. Okay, so these are flesh-eating beetles or scarabs or something. They were inside a trunk that a dead body was in. And the mongoose is out here now. Interesting. So I wonder if the mongoose just wanders. Huh. Okay. Because the mongoose was in that storeroom before, inside the lab. So at this point... I know, right? This place is a mess. Oh, also...
You hear muffled voices coming through the door to Yvette's office.
Okay, I'll point this out after this conversation.
You lied to me.
Well, lass, I guess that makes us even. You lied to me.
You had something to do with the dagger burglary.
You've been sleeping with someone else. I saw you go off with that dock worker.
I've never slept with Steve, and the Ziggy fellow, he told me about you and the dagger.
And you believed that little weasel. I've arrested the man more times than I can count.
The Ziggy, I know him a long time. He would not lie to me.
That man'd lie to his own mother if someone paid him for it.
Ziggy, he says you were working with the Carrington to steal the dagger.
Lies! You can't be trusting the man. If he wasn't already dead, I'd pound the truth out of him.
Maybe you already did.
Were you sleeping with the little rat then?
Of course not.
You really surprise me, lass. I'd think you grew up on the streets accusing me of burglary like that.
Where I grew up doesn't matter, does it? The important thing is... Wait, did you hear something at the door?
Yeah, I was hearing it too. Keep your voice down then.
Okay, can I go in there?
This door is locked.
This door's locked. Okay. So I briefly took a look at the footage from last night, part 3. And this, the statue head thing, I completely missed. So I saw Vampire Lady go back here to the rotunda. And I heard the door close, and then everything went back to its closed state. And then when I went back here, into this room, the head was back in the down position and closed. But when I first left the office into here and then saw the doctor go in the side room, the head was up. It was in the up position, and I didn't notice that because I was watching the NPC walk into this hallway, and I was so fixated on that I did not see the statue head thing in the center of the screen, and that is what you're supposed to figure out how that puzzle works from. Okay, all right, this is perfect because we can change to that one. Boom. That's why I made those numbered like that. 12:45 after Yvette and detective. Okay. All right. Yeah, it bottlenecked a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go into Yvette's office. Okay. So, as far as our equipment here, we have our notebook, we have a lamp, a wind-up lamp. We have the thing that was from Dr. Carter. We have a pocket watch that we got from the skeleton inside the trunk in the basement lab storeroom. So this is a very recent item. We got the cheese from the security dude's office. That we've had a while. That unlocked the chest in the lab. This we've had for a while. That we've had for a while. These are wire cutters. This is a snake trap, I think.
This curious device is a lasso at the end of a pole used for the humane capture of snakes in the wild, or wild snakes, or something like that.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like you use this like a fishing pole, but no, it's one of those things that instead of a net on the end, you pull it and it snares it shut. Okay, that's what that is. Carbon paper, that was just lore stuff, I think. Our bottle of snake oil, which the Ankh, and then I also have a thing of wire here.
A length of sturdy wire.
Sturdy wire. And that was from the pterodactyl that fell down in the dinosaur realm. So what I suspect here... Oh, also, I looked at the video. In order for her to use this and open the door, all I did was click on the bottom of the skull. But it hasn't let me do that in forever. So it keeps saying, like, there's somebody witnessing you do it or something. Now it works! What? Where does this go, then? Hold on. Where does this go? Huh. Yeah, I guess it must have been the lantern. Because I recently got that. But the dialogue was so weird, though. Okay, I'm curious if if I can catch the mongoose. Because it did appear after a little bit. Maybe I have to be in the center of the room. Or maybe it just did that because the beetles were walking around. I'm not sure what I would do with the mongoose, but I want it. It's not nailed down, so it's mine. Okay, I guess it's not going to appear. Huh. Oh yeah, from Shivers. Welcome. Man, Shivers had too many bangers in it. And it needs some remixes. So yeah, Shivers had jams for days. So nothing new here. Like, there might be a body hidden inside this thing's mouth. This is probably worth checking.
Welcome to the Linedecker Museum Dinosaur Display. Although...
Okay, just skip that. Alright. I'm gonna call it, though. There's probably gonna be a body inside that thing's mouth at some point, and you have to hit the button to get it to barf up the body. I'm calling it right here. That's definitely gonna happen. Okay. So nothing new there. Nothing new here. There's a body inside that central thing there. There's no new faces here. I still haven't been able to do anything with this closed door. Maybe you have to open it from the other side by throwing an item into this opening above the door and like fish it down or something. So let's try this.
While
I don't know what part of. See, this is a large problem with that I have with this game. like something like this, it's pretty obvious what you're clicking on for that. That too, it's the tip of the finger, and for that and that. But where is the action point for something like this? Or like this? Is it the center of the bone? Is it the... Because that actually has been an issue in earlier parts.
While this is an interesting approach...
Okay, so not that.
While this is...
No.
While this...
So we can't bait that thing.
You feel something engraved on the watch case. A valuable gold pocket watch.
Yeah, like the Discworld games, I think, did that. Where it would show the picture of this, but then it would also have one off to the side. Yeah, I guess it does. If you just right click. But it's completely arbitrary though. Right? So that was the center of the bone. What about this one? And that one's the bottom right of this thing. So...
While this is an interesting approach...
Okay.
While this is an interest...
Some of them? Like what though? I'm trying to think. Like this has been an issue for like every single one of their SCI engine games. Because this is the King's Quest V, Space Quest 4 engine, and Quest for Glory 3 engine. And they all have that same issue. I think the issue with this game though is that the actual parts of the screen that you can use the items are way smaller in this game compared to the other ones. Okay, what about this wire? Okay, what's the hotspot? Okay, it's the upper right. Nope. So it feels like the... Maybe I have to oil up this, this here? And push it? No? Huh. Okay. Gabriel and I'm completely unfamiliar with that one, so that one might actually have better prompts for it.
A peek into the mummy case reveals that Pippin's body has been removed.
And why it's been removed, I don't know. I'm still not sure why they would have put his body inside the suit of armor over here. Why would they do that? I know there's that thing that I translated about being in the coffin. Silence from her... I pay homage to the eye... Something silence from her words of eternity. Quicker than the greyhound I sail... Oh, is at the bottom. Perish as my mummy lies prostrate in my tomb. Was, I think, the important message that was on that blackboard. Totally possible. Totally possible. Though that's also one of the bummers about the Walking Dead game, is that because the parts where you're out scavenging, you're on such a tight time limit that you can't do stuff like that. It's really sad. Okay. Hey, Jeff. So we have this snake back here, and the game gives me the look at prompt for it. And I'm not sure if there's like an item behind the snake.
You decide that's probably not such a good idea.
Or something. Like, can I oil up the snake?
While this is an interesting approach, it serves no practical purpose. While this is an...
So not that. Yeah, give it some cheese.
While this... While this...
Like it feels like I need to trap that mongoose and put it in the snake cage.
It's Barney, Olympia's pet cobra.
And I can't just...
Not a good idea.
We cannot boop it.
Not.
And like I can walk all the way up to the cage. Like right here. And there's no problems. So... Huh. Oh man, if Super Hot got you drenched, then oh man. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to plan out ahead of time what game you're going to play if you're not going to have ventilation. Because man, Super Hot is pretty slow paced, and anything else that have you moving around a lot more. Also, make sure to stretch before you do VR stuff, because you find yourself moving around a lot more than usual gaming. So all of these are electrified up here except for the sword. Maybe that's what this is for, to get the sword down.
While this... While... 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 While...
I'm also not sure why I want the sword. Other than... It's the only thing non-electrified. Maybe this is only there just to kill you. Can I interact with this anymore?
You have already disarmed the trap and taken the cheese, so quit fooling around with it.
Okay, jeez.
Sitting in Heimlich's chair would be very unwise. You could get hurt that way. Don't touch it.
Sure.
Although the medals are shiny and colorful, there's really no need for you to touch them. Don't touch it. You don't know where it's been.
Huh. So this opening up that leads to a button, and the button opens a secret door, and then the secret door brings you up to... the president's office is where that takes you. And maybe that's like a way to get around a locked door or something. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get that mongoose. Actually, I wonder if... Is this open now? Because I didn't quite fully...
This door is locked.
Okay, that's locked. I did not fully explore Ernie's office. And I'm still not sure what the point of all that is. So there's a big thing up there of plaster, apparently?
It's a sack of plaster, sometimes used for making molds.
Okay. And I can't just...
You have no use for a sack of plaster.
But it's clearly something that we can get. Okay, can I take a look at this again? So that's the skeleton. And that's the dude from... Why? What? Apparently there's a secret door behind this.
Don't take it with you. It'll always be here for your reference. The poster outlines basic dissection and preservation techniques. You scan it quickly, just in case you decide to make a change in your career.
So I think
The cabinet is empty. All the equipment is out on the work desk.
So I think it's like 1:15 now in game time.
The tools are meant for esoteric activities such as gutting thickly furred mammals. Therefore, you have no use for them.
Well, what if we need to get a mammal?
The canister is clearly empty and too heavy to be moved around. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a mammalogy lab? Well, now you know how it feels.
Sure.
Lugging the contents of this crate around with you would only hinder your investigation. The crate is stenciled wild dingoes. You hate to think of how many wild dingoes are stacked up in that crate.
I don't know how big a dingo is, so... Hundreds? No idea. So there's something behind this, huh? The player probably wasn't supposed to see that.
This crate is sealed, but you're not missing anything. The contents are unpleasant and hardly useful. It's nailed shut. Besides, you have no desire to confront the contents. The word gorilla has been stenciled across the label of this large crate. Somebody's crossed out gorilla and scrawled Sasquatch underneath. Curator humor.
Well, it could be like a snake though. They might be tiny and just unhinge their jaw to baby size. You never know. It's Australia. Okay, so now we got access to Ernie's office again. Let me save. Okay, I think it probably is one now. Ernie. So, we got some pliers from the toolbox in the bottom left. I haven't looked at his desk yet. Alcohol vat book.
Ernie's index to the stored items in the alcohol vats. Current vat contents, Alcoholic Preservation Lab. 1. Koala bears. 2. Turtles. 3. Snakes. 4. Hippo. 5. Ground sloth. 6. Skunks. 7. Loch Ness monster. 8. Ostrich. 9. Lemmings. 10. Unicorn. 11. Creature from the Black Lagoon. 12. Rats. 13. Warthogs. 14. King Edward of Daventry.
Okay.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
So we actually overheard a message over the intercom thing of somebody telling Ernie that valve number 13 was acting up, and that was wild boars. So I don't know if that's anything. I have not played D2. Wasn't there a Saturn game like Enemy Zero? Is that one officially part of the lore, or is that part of the Laura digital actress thing? This
Current vat contents, Alcoholic Preservation Lab.
Okay, we already heard all that. Okay, I'm not sure point of that. Okay, clicking anywhere on the desk brings up that. Sure.
One of those newfangled
Okay. Intercom, same as before.
A mop and a broom. Tiny locks secure them to the wall, since the cleaning man is worried about people stealing his cleaning supplies.
Sure. What about
This appears to be a large button on the wall.
Well.
When you push the button, you hear a sliding noise off in the distance, clearly originating outside of this room.
That's probably that crate in the... back here. Yeah, it's not like a huge priority to do that, but that is on the eventual to-do list to conclude the saga of Laura and vampire. Oh, I didn't. Oh shit. Okay, can I? Is it too late? Okay. All right. Where does this take us? Okay. Huh. So it's 1 a.m. Was there anything? 1 a.m. Oh, the armor room. Countess and Ziggy is what I've written down. And this is a quick way to get to the armor room. And if I go hide in the box...
The chest feels like wood. The chest...
Okay.
While it was fun to lock the door, you think better of it at this time, since it might annoy the museum's staff.
Okay, so maybe at some point that closes. So we know how to get to this area then. Yeah, the game hasn't let me secure that door yet for the whole game. And I'm not sure what the point of that mechanism is. Okay, we're doing a dead body check here. What, oh, Laura, what are you doing?
Welcome to the Line Decker.
Okay, no dead body there. Would have fallen out immediately. Okay. So finding that button and the list of stuff in the vats is the only progress so far. She's still alive. Oh no! It's Steve, not Steve. He might still be alive though.
Ernie's head lolls back limply.
Wait, oh yeah, that's not Steve. That's Ernie. It's Ernie. Oh no. Okay, yeah, it's not Steve. We're good. False alarm. It's just Ernie.
This arm is flung out to the side as if to say, I'm completely limp. Ernie's shoes are intact, yet strangely dark and damp-looking. Ernie's arm is draped over a tusk in a casual pose. If he weren't dead, he'd look like an ad for menswear. Ernie's pants appear to be clinging somewhat to his legs. Ernie's suspenders are intact, which saves you from much embarrassment. The fabric of the shirt appears to be clinging somewhat to Ernie's chest. Ernie's mouth gapes, though whether this occurred in his death throes or simply as a result of the corpse's position is unclear. Ernie's head lolls back limply. You press on one of Ernie's shoes and see a bit of moisture oozing from the dark, spongy leather. As soon as you remove your finger, the moisture immediately seeps back into the leather. Ernie's right arm is stiffening in its outstretched position. Ernie's shirt feels cold and moist. You gingerly place your fingers into Ernie's mouth. Cold and clammy hardly begins to describe the feeling. There's a sickening squishing sound as you probe the moist tissues. You touch Ernie's ear. It feels eerie. You consider doing the traditional thing and closing Ernie's eyes, but decide that perhaps it's better not to tamper with his body, which, though this may seem cold, is evidence of murder.
What if he just fell from the scaffolding? Could have been an accident.
Due to rigor mortis, Ernie's left arm is slightly stiff. Hence the expression stiff, referring to a corpse.
Oh.
The pants feel dank and wet, but the
Dank.
moisture evaporates quickly from your fingers.
Dank pants.
Despite your closest examination, you find nothing unusual about Ernie's outstretched right arm.
Oh. Okay.
The hairs are bristled and clearly animal in origin, with a faint smell of alcohol.
Huh.
These are animal hairs of some sort, too coarse to be human.
Huh.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Interesting.
The suspenders are damp but intact and reek of alcohol or something similarly chemical. Dry cleaning fluid, perhaps. A minute inspection of Ernie's left arm reveals nothing suspicious. The pants are intact, but the smell emanating from them is noticeable. It's as if he took a swim in bathtub gin.
Huh. Exactly. Well, there might be more hairs. I don't know. Also, how are you supposed to know that there's hairs there? Like, just looking at the artwork for this, it's not obvious that there's supposed to be something there. I just happened to click there and there was a thing. Like, come on, game.
The leather of Ernie's shoes are soaked through and through. The scent is an overpowering mixture of sweat, shoe polish, and alcohol.
So the things in the basement, in that lab, those are specimens preserved in alcohol. And like maybe he was like at the top of one of those containers and had his legs dangling in the fluid or something to like fix valve 13. Maybe that's what the valve 13 was. And then a bore, valve 13 was for the bore tank. And I have no other explanation for why there would be boar hairs on him.
The tusks are slightly dampened in the areas where the body has come in contact with them. Otherwise, you find nothing unusual about them.
So maybe he was drowned in the alcohol or something? In the boar tank?
The support structure, like a professional wrestler, appears very strong and totally clueless.
And we last saw him like 15 minutes ago in game time. Because he was in his office with Yvette on his desk. Okay. So it's 2:15 now. Okay. Yep. And she's just walking right on by, huh? Okay. Uh, 2:15. Ernie dead. Okay. I'm gonna check this gift shop periodically to see if it's... Nope. Okay. Still closed. So as far as surviving people in here, there's the Countess, there's Dr. Tut. We haven't seen the guy with the glasses in a long time. The Egyptian guy with the glasses and the lisp. Shit, we haven't seen him since, like, the party, I guess. Steve is probably still out and about. Steve. Dr. Vampire Lady. Yvette, probably still out and about. Okay, it's a one-way trip. I can't go back down.
The mummy case is sealed shut, as it has remained for over 2,000 years.
Sure. Let's see. The detective's still alive. So Ernie's dead. A wolf's still alive as well. Ramses we haven't seen forever. Ziggy's dead. So there's still lots of people alive here in the museum. Steve is probably still somewhere. Detective O'Reilly still alive. Okay. Pocket watch. Snake lasso. Sure. And animal hair. Huh. I think if I run across one of the doctors again, I should ask him about the animal hair. Like, I know Tut should be walking around here somewhere. So if we find him, we gotta ask him about that. I have a feeling he's dead, though, because he's usually walking around here. So if he's not here, then he's probably having a bad time somewhere. And I guess I could ask the Countess about it.
Ach, you are smelling like the brewery, mein Capitan. Either you've been drinking, or you've been eating too many of those grapes.
Sure and begorra. A man needs a little nip from his flask now and then, doesn't he?
Personally, I do not require the drinking of the alcohol. It would impair my mental and physical skills.
Interesting.
Ernie Leach has been murdered!
What was that, lass?
Ernie is dead!
So, you finally come to us to confess. Is that it?
Confess? No! I'm reporting a murder!
And you was the first one to find the body again?
Well, I guess so.
Quite a coincidence, Fräulein. I think we should be interrogating you to learn the truth! I've had enough of your lies!
Calm down, Heimlich. If there's any interrogating to be done, I'll be the one who does it. Now then, lass, where did you find the body?
The mastodon room. He's hanging from some mastodon tusks.
Ach, he's probably just sleeping on the job.
No, I'm sure he's dead.
Sure.
Well, I'll go take a look at him then. If I need to talk to you, I'll find you later.
Okay. So either the detective killed Ernie, or he was an accomplice, or he was in the general area. Because if he smells like alcohol, then probably likely that's the case. I should probably backtrack to see if they did anything. And I need to ask old lady about animal hair. Well, they did a lot of fine police work here, apparently. Still haven't seen Tut. He's usually hanging out like right here. Nope, he's just gone. So he's probably dead. Though then again, I haven't seen Steve in forever, and I'm assuming Steve's not dead because it's Steve. Let's see if there's anything new here. No. Haven't seen any wandering NPCs. You'd at least see the Countess. She'd be hanging out right here. Huh. Is this perhaps the final stretch? Alright, this is Vampire Lady's office. Haven't seen her in forever. I'm not sure what animal hairs would do for the snake. And that's kind of the only thing left to interact with in this room. And can I cut anything with this paper cutter? Maybe I can cut the cheese.
While this... No,
can't do that. Too obvious a joke for a Sierra game. Nothing new here. And this has the secret passage that comes from the security office. And I can't use the phone because the phone line's been cut. So that leaves just down here. There's still that mongoose running around. Nothing new here. Like, shit, I want to ask an NPC about the animal hair, but I haven't seen an NPC since I got it, besides the cutscene. So Ernie's not going to bother us anymore in his office because he's now dead.
A rare skeletal specimen of the saber-toothed jackalope discovered high on the frozen slopes of Mount Everest. Extinct for over 20,000 years, scientists speculate that this jackalope was in the process of climbing the highest peak in the Himalayas when it died suddenly of arthritis. It's a stuffed bear.
I wonder if those hairs match up with...
That's not the sort of thing you want to examine too closely.
Okay, so probably not.
Don't touch it. Don't... A mop, complete with bucket. Apparently they haven't been used for a while since they're stuck to the floor. This is the storage room that has been converted to an office for Ernie Leach.
Okay.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
There's the switch on the wall to open up the secret passage. I still don't know if there's anything I have to do with these.
VAT 11. Something odd is floating in the murky liquid. It appears to be half man and half fish. Or maybe it's just a trick of the light. VAT 12. Small creatures with long tails are floating in the murky liquid.
So 13 is boars.
VAT 13. Indistinct shapes are floating in the murky liquid. None of the creatures are close enough to the glass to see what they are. VAT 14. There's a vaguely humanoid shape floating in the murky liquid. After staring through the glass for a while, you see what appears to be white hair Or perhaps it's a large jellyfish.
So that's apparently Edward Daventry, which is the king from King's Quest 1 that tasked Knight Graham, Sir Graham, with his quest. What? Why? Why is she? What? Why?
Could it be? Yes. It's heavy. It's shiny.
It's a dagger.
It's real gold.
Oh, shit.
It's got a sharp point at one end. It's the Dagger of Amon Ra.
GG. Game over. Roll credits.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Oh, okay. Sure. Act 4, the ending. Museum of the Dead. Okay.
You're doing a fine job, Laura.
I'm doing a fine job. Okay, our dad is...
Boy, the alcohol fumes sure are strong in here.
Our dad is not proud of us. She said we're doing a fine job. In between acts 2 and 3, we got, you're doing an excellent job, your father would be proud of you. So our score has gone down a little bit, I guess. Okay, so she said the alcohol strong is really, or it smells really strong. And we're in act 4 start. Okay.
It's the infamous, wonderful, not to mention stunning gold dagger of Amon Ra.
Okay.
The blade feels cool to the touch. Unlike the gift shop daggers, this one does not have Made in Pittsburgh stamped into the blade.
Okay. So I wonder if you can't go back this way. If there's a reason for that extra passage. So, what now? Do I stab the snake now that we have a dagger? Alright, snake. Come get some.
While this is an interest...
Okay, I cannot stab the snake. Dang it. Okay.
My Ernie, he was a wonderful man. I really loved him.
Oh, sure you did. I know your type, Yvette. I know you didn't really love him.
But I did. Ernie was the first man I've ever really loved. I was even trying to find work for him so he could make the extra money.
Why did he need extra money? He had a good job here, didn't he?
It was the gambling. The ice pick. He killed my Ernie for the gambling debts.
Ernie wasn't killed with an ice pick.
No, the ice pick is the... How do you say it? The lone fish.
Lone fish? Oh, you mean ice pick is the name of a lone shark?
Oui, the ice pick is an evil man.
You're sure he's the one who killed Ernie?
My Ernie, he was worried about the ice pick. He told me about him this evening.
Very curious. I'm surprised you had time to see Ernie tonight.
Why is that?
Because you've been spending so much time with Mr. Dorian.
Oh, you mean the Steve?
Has she?
He is the attractive man, but we are only the friends, no? But my Ernie, what will I do without him?
I can see you're upset. I'll leave you alone.
It's Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Steve! Mr. Dorian.
Miss Bo.
Thank you for showing me your scars, Steve. They were very, very nice.
Okay.
Haven't seen you in a while, Mr. Dorian.
Well, women keep carrying me off.
Carrying you off?
Yeah. First, Miss Delacroix pulled me away from the party to show me the old Masters Gallery. Then there was Dr. Miklos. She's been pestering me about my scars ever since she found out I worked on the docks. Weird lady.
You don't seem too upset by all the attention.
Well, I would rather have spent the time with you.
I'd think a big, strong man like you would have been able to get away from them if you wanted to do so.
Well, I hate to be rude, and I did end up finding you here.
Have you heard about the murders?
Murders? Oh, I guess somebody did mention that.
You seem kind of distracted.
Yeah, well, I've got news for you, too. I think some of the paintings in the old Masters Gallery are forgeries. The paint is still wet on some of them.
Yes, well, I hardly think that...
Huh.
Oh, Steve, a terrible thing has happened. Ernie is dead.
Ernie?
Who's that?
Yes, my Ernie. What will I do? Oh, I need a big man to cry on. Please, come into my office.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Sorry, Miss Bo. The poor woman seems very upset. Maybe there's something I can do for her.
I can just guess what that is.
We can talk more later, okay?
We'll see about that.
Hmm.
You hear muffled voices coming through the door to Yvette's office.
So Steve is moving... He's moving up my list of suspects here. As the number of people alive in the museum dwindles.
Ooh la la.
How does that feel?
It is magnifique. Mmm.
I'm not rubbing too hard, am I?
The harder the better, mon ami.
Well, we all get a little stiff now and then.
Ooh, and you are so good at working out the kinks. Mmm.
Would you mind not moaning so loud? It might draw attention.
Ooh, I cannot be helping it. You are so big and so strong. Mmm.
Oh my.
Good job, Laura.
Oh, dear!
Miss Bo,
Sacré bleu.
I can explain this.
I bet you can, Mr. Dorian.
I'm just rubbing her neck.
Oui, and he does it so well.
I'll just leave you two alone.
Miss Bo, wait.
Okay. I still need to ask somebody about this animal. Oh, all right. Oh, now, okay. Animal hair.
Animal hairs? Really?
Okay. What about the Dagger of Amon? Let's tell her that we have it.
Oh, I'm simply devastated that it was stolen before I got a chance to see it. It's supposed to be simply divine.
Just go to the gift shop. There's plenty of them. Okay. Let's see if I can go in here.
This door is locked.
So I wonder if I can get in there. By going through the security office.
An office.
Also assuming this guy isn't in here. Uh-oh. Okay, let's give him the business.
Never point a weapon at me, Fräulein Bo. Not even a toy like that. My highly trained reflexes could kill you in 3 seconds if I wanted to. 3 seconds! And I am considering doing that right now!
So, this guy keeps us from going into the president's office, I think.
Achtung! This is not the public part of the museum. This area is verboten to you and all of your kind. Leave now before you force me to shoot you!
But let me ask you about this animal hair first.
There are many hairy creatures in this museum, Miss Bo, and I would suggest that you not pull out their hair. I would throw you out now if I could, you nosy American female.
Okay. I wonder if I can...
Jeepers, Laura. Not in front of witnesses.
Huh. Okay. So you can't interact with the room while somebody else is in there. Why was it... It gave me that same line every time I tried to use the secret passage before. Interesting. Anything new here? Still not sure what that's... Okay, 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is tea time, apparently, according to my notes. So we have plaster. Still missing that mongoose, wherever the mongoose went. Maybe they're doing tea time in the main hall. Actually, I should have checked if Wolf was still in his office after the time changed. Oh well, probably too late now. So is this open now? Yes. Steve? Steve, what did you do?
It's a petite woman's shoe.
It's got stink lines coming off it.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
All right. Free shoe. Not gonna say no to that. This is an adventure game.
It's on the floor, but it's actually a desk lamp.
That's probably Steve's hair? Or it could be the detective's hair.
Red hairs.
They both have red hair of the same shade.
A close look seems to indicate that the red hairs belong to a human.
Okay.
Feels like red hair.
How would she know?
Feels like red hair. Feels like...
Okay, we can't take it. And that's probably part of her dress?
It looks like a shred of clothing fabric. It looks like a piece of fabric torn from Yvette's dress. Possibly in a moment of passion.
Or murder.
You don't need it. Leave it here for the police.
Oh, well then why'd you take the shoe? There's a typewriter.
One of those new portable typewriters. At a mere £50, you can take it anywhere. Well, you could if it was useful to you, which it isn't, so forget it. It's a desk chair. It feels like a wood chair.
Okay. So Yvette could be alive or dead. At this point, I don't know. There's no blood, so I'm assuming she's probably fine. And that was just... I don't know. This is new.
The subject of this sculpture looks curiously familiar.
Did they encase the Countess in plaster?
The sculpture gives off a strong smell of fresh plaster. The odd statue feels like it's made of cheap, quick-drying plaster.
Okay, can we snake oil it then?
While this...
Oh, this is Yvette.
You see a short, elder...
Well, that's...
The subject of this... The odd...
Can I not do anything with this, though? Can I put some fur on it?
While this is an interesting approach... The sculpture gives off a strong smell of fresh plaster.
Huh. That's got to be Yvette. But I don't know if that's bugged or what. Okay, nothing new here. So I probably have to go down to the lab in the storeroom. Nothing new here. Yeah, nothing new there. So that's probably Yvette's corpse inside of a plaster thing that it won't let me interact with for some reason. Hey, Cloud. Okay, what about in here? So that's all the same as before. It's weird that it wouldn't... It's not giving me the... Yeah, I wanted to go this way. Any sort of, like, cutscene for that. Because that's clearly a dead body. This...
The odd statue feels like it's made of cheap, quick-drying plaster.
Like...
The odd...
Can I talk to it?
Silence alone is great. The sculpture gives off a strong smell of fresh plaster. The subject of this sculpture looks curiously familiar.
Yeah, because it's...
The subject...
It's Yvette. Why won't it... And she was a little shorter than her, so I don't know. Okay, I probably have to go down to the basement and see that the sack of plaster has been used or something. Which is here.
It's a sack of plaster, sometimes used for making molds. You have no use for a sack of plaster. It's too high up for you to examine with a magnifying glass, but fortunately there's nothing telltale on the sack of plaster. You find plenty of scratches, dents, and gouges, but nothing unusual for a steamer trunk.
And this is probably still, yeah, still spooky skeleton. So nothing new here. So is Wolf still in his office then? I'm trying to think ahead to like what items I could use on that new plaster statue. Okay, so Wolf isn't in here anymore. We have a shoe.
A nice, if somewhat worn, woman's leather shoe. A petite size 6.
What the fuck can I do with this shoe?
The heel is considered high for the 1920s, indicating that it's a custom-made shoe. The back of the heel is heavily scuffed.
Huh. Not sure how that applies to anything. So this brings me up to the president's office. So there's really only one place I can think of that I have not been that's been like obvious so far. And that's the door in the armor area. What's the deal with this? I need to use a lamp on her?
While this is...
Okay. The shoe?
While this is... While...
Snake oil, wire cutters, a snake thing, cheese, bone. If I could find the Countess again, I would love to ask her about the shoe. She'd probably know something about it. See if we can get her to spawn. Or if she's just gone now. So the next thing is probably getting inside that door in the armor area. Somehow. Okay, corpse check again.
The room...
Hit the button.
Welcome to the...
Okay. No corpse there. I realized today what that sound was that it's making. That's the same sound as the Yeti in King's Quest V. When it's when you appear on the screen that it's in the snow area. Okay, is the body of this guy still in there?
The faceplate on the armor is slightly open.
Okay, so his body's still in there. Huh. So that's still the same. Let's just make sure there's nothing new in here. Nope, it's still just Ziggy's head in here. Okay. So according to the description, this suit of armor is guarding this door. And I think this is open.
The transom is too high for you to reach while standing on the floor.
Yeah, while standing on the floor. And that makes me think that... Do I have to, like... Does she have to put on the shoe to become a little higher, maybe?
While this is... While...
Like, maybe...
While this... While...
She needs to knock over the suit of armor somehow? Though how you would manage to do that, I don't know.
While this is...
And I can't, like,
While...
oil up the floor.
While this... While this... While this...
And these sprites, they look like part of the background. This one, however, looks like it can maybe move.
Don't touch it. Don't touch
Like maybe there's a magic pixel on this thing.
Don't touch.
No.
While this is... While the... The door is locked. When you touch the doorknob, you get a heavy coating of dust all over the palm of your hand.
Yeah, so this implies that however this door is opened, it's not by using the knob, and the key didn't work.
This door won't open this way.
Yeah. So that door won't open that way, which means in order to get behind it, I need to do something with the suit of armor, probably.
Okay,
what's the hotspot on that? Okay, it's right there. Okay, the tip of the dagger is the hotspot. And I, like, a thought is maybe that I could push this chest in the other room over to there. Because we can see the other door just right over there. Either that or move the dog. But the dog also looks like a part of the background, and so does this. Like, my thought is to use the snake oil to oil up the floor and then easily push one of these things over to it.
An empty chest from the 15th century. Although the carvings on the exterior are crude, cut into the wood by someone with little talent or ability for wood carving, the chest now resides in a museum, simply because it's old. Kind of makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
That's what museums are for.
The steel armor feels smooth and cool. The steel...
So can I still don't get what the point of this is. Why is this guy's body in here now? And why does it give you a close-up of it? Am I missing something? I don't think I got an item off of this corpse. I got his notebook off of him the first time.
Dr.
Okay, well, it's the same dialogue for everything. Shit. And I probably can't move something from this room. Like my other thought was I could move this. Can I put the dagger back in the display.
While this is an... While this...
No. Is there another body in here now?
A peek into the mummy case...
No. Still not sure why this one you can open and close. Like, I figured you'd be able to hide in there, but... nothing doing. Huh. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Okay. Did I try wire cutters on this? I think animal hair is going to do anything. This piece of string. Huh. Maybe it'll let me bolt the door now.
While it was fun to lock the door...
Okay. So it still won't let me lock the door. And if I close the door, I don't have a way to get to another part if I do that. And there's still this stupid statue. Now, what's the deal with the statue? Like, clearly that's a dead body. Why the game won't let me interact with it, I don't know. What haven't I used on it yet? Like the bone? Do I have to hit it with the bone? Are you kidding me? We found her. Last scene with Steve. Steve. Definitely not the killer, Steve.
Red hair. It appears to be a pair of bifocal glasses.
Bifocals. Okay, that's from the Egyptian doctor with the lisp. Or no, he wasn't a doctor, he was the accountant.
The scarf around Yvette's neck looks suspiciously like the hosiery she was wearing on her legs earlier. Yvette's face doesn't look as good in death as it did in life. Perhaps because her makeup is covered with plaster dust.
Damn. Get wrecked, Yvette.
Yvette's hair, formerly full of bounce and shine, is now lifeless and dull. It could use a thorough washing with a good shampoo to get all the plaster dust out of it.
Eh?
Definitely red hairs. Probably human.
They literally use the same sound file for that.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Eh? What happened to the tampering with the crime scene thing?
Don't touch it. There appears to be a fingerprint on one of the lenses of the bifocals, although you have no way to identify it. You pick it up and place it in your purse.
So this crime scene, she's totally okay with this.
The scarf clearly isn't a scarf. It's the silk hosiery Yvette was wearing earlier in the evening. Her neck under the scarf shows red friction burns, as if she was strangled. This makes you wonder if she died during a passionate moment or had simply developed the habit of wearing silk hose around her neck.
Well,
there is plaster in all of the openings on Yvette's face. Mouth, nostrils, eyes, ears. She has several scratches on her face, as well as cuts on her lips. No split ends. There are a few scratches on Yvette's skin, as if she was in a struggle before she died. Yvette's left hand is plastered. Yvette's right hand is plastered. There are a few scratches on Yvette's skin, as if she was in a struggle before she died. That's not the sort of thing you want to examine too closely.
okay.
Yvette's face feels stiff from rigor mortis. A bit of plaster dust comes off on your finger when you touch her cold skin.
Hey, Zach.
The scarf around Yvette's neck feels silky where it's not covered with plaster. Yvette's left hand is stiff and cold.
Okay, I think we found what we needed to find here. Okay. And no cutscene, huh? All right. So we found the Dagger of Amon. By the way, it was in the basement in one of the vats in that lab area. The way you're supposed to know which vat it was from this like throwaway conversation over the intercom of like, "Hey Ernie, go check out valve number 13. It's got a faulty valve on it or something." Like, and so I wrote that down in my notes, and that turned out to be the location of the fucking dagger. So okay, sure. Okay. Act 4. Yvette dead. Okay. Meanwhile, this is new. What?
Countess, why are you tied up on my desk?
Oh, that's right, I did it.
Your face has certainly changed to an attractive pale color, my dear. You seem a little under the weather. Are you okay? Oh dear, you don't look well at all. O'Reilly! You want Mr. O'Reilly? Okay, just wait right here and I'll go get him.
The snake's gone.
Hello, Miss Bo. Do you know where Mr. O'Reilly is?
Well, no, not exactly. I assume he's still in the museum.
Well, I'll find him. If you see him first, would you tell him that the Countess is dying on the desk in my office?
The Countess is dying? What's wrong with her?
Well, she's looking rather pale. Her eyes are glazed, and she's not breathing much. I'd guessed she'd been bitten by a snake.
By a snake?
Must you keep repeating everything I say? In any case, I've got to go now.
All right. This sounds like, oh god. Can I get out my snake oil?
While this is an
Snake oil. Can I? Oh god. Meanwhile... Okay, I'm gonna right click through this. This will be over quick.
Countess?
Okay, maybe not. I should probably save before I go in that room.
You...
So... This is probably why you get the refillable snake oil thing.
Hello?
But I don't know if I have to go save the Countess or... Or what? What's the play here? Am I trying to back it into the corner and then snare it? Maybe I want to get it to like right here and then... Oh, the thing to open the secret passage isn't there.
That's it. I'm out of oil. Now what?
Throw the shoe at it. Snare it. Maybe now I snare it. Okay, and then... So... It's missing a tooth. Or a fang.
The cobra displays one deadly fang. He seems to mean business.
Huh.
Oh!
Okay. So grapes, intercom.
A little bunch of grapes. Chilled. You remember something about grapes being found alongside the victims of Jack the Ripper.
The person who was eating grapes at the party was the detective. I think.
They seem to be ordinary table grapes, nice and ripe. You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Okay.
It's the bound and dead body of the Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton. The skin on her hand is as pale as her face, showing minor signs of lividity in the palms. The skin on her hand is as pale as her face. The Countess is looking rather pale. She seems surprised that she died here on Olympia's desk. It's the bound and...
Okay, anything else?
It's the bound... Looks like an important document. A paper with printed words on it.
So that one's not important.
The first page of a scientific report.
Okay, so what's down here then?
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it, it's important.
You decide not to read beyond the title. Proceedings of the 20th Annual Conference on Domestids.
How is that an important document?
Her bloodshot eyes are open and staring into infinity. Her lips have a bluish tint. There are no signs of violence on or around her face or head. Her bloodshot eyes are open.
How do you get that from clicking on her... What?
The scent of the smelling salts is overpowering at this close range.
She had that hidden in her hair?
Smelling salts. You pick it up and place it in your purse. While While this is an interesting...
Maybe I use those on Yvette, and maybe Yvette's not actually dead. Entirely possible she might not be dead.
Her fingernails are clean and unbroken, showing no signs of violence.
Can't get the rope, apparently. Okay.
You detect a trickle of what could prove to be cobra venom.
Oh.
You deem it wise not to touch it when you remember that it's a neurotoxin that causes progressive paralysis leading to respiratory failure. That biology class was useful after all.
Well, just be really careful.
Not a good idea since it's leaking venom. A cobra fang is embedded in the Countess's swollen ankle.
Okay. So that's probably it for that then. So it's 4:15. Okay. What? Oh, okay. That was all of Act 4. That was like 10 minutes. Okay. Rex takes a bite at a crime. There's a Scruff McGruff reference in this game.
So far, so good. Keep it up.
Okay. Why is... What? Oh my god, what? What the fuck is going on? Holy shit. We're being chased by somebody wielding a mace. Oh my god, what? Am I just fucking dead? What the fuck? What? It didn't even let me save. It just went straight to you gonna die. What the fuck? And now I gotta do this shit again? Like, it wouldn't even let me save. And I gotta do this again. What the fuck? So my thinking was there. I got a while to think about this now because we gotta do all this shit again. My thinking was to go into the armor room, close the door and bolt it shut, and then climb into the box. Was my thinking. Is that not a solid plan? And then when I go in there, it's automatic game over, you died. Okay, I wonder if I leave the room, will it let me save? Okay, I'm gonna backtrack. Okay. Alright. So at least we don't have to do the stupid snake thing again. Let's see that a little closer. So the game kind of just goes immediately into this danger mode.
Looks aren't everything.
Well, apparently you can...
You pick it... It's the bound and...
So I need the smelling salts.
You pick...
And then I need to see the snake bite.
You detect a trickle of...
Okay. And then it doesn't let me save once I'm in this. Okay. So once you exit the office, it goes straight to go time. So we start that sequence here in the Mastodon room. So my thinking, if we get out the old John Madden here, was to go from here to here in the medieval armor, close the door, and then hide in the box here. But apparently that kills you. And another option would be to go to here, go into the Egyptian exhibit, and hide in that sarcophagus that's up here. But I have a feeling that's probably also going to kill me, because there's nowhere for you to go at that point. Another possibility is here to the T-Rex room, and then you can actually do that thing where you walk around behind the T-Rex, and then I might be able to get past the person and get back to here. Though to what end, I'm not sure. And then say I did get back to the Mastodon room. What then? Like down into the basement to the security guard room, maybe? And then get him with the sword? Or at least once I'm down there, I can use the hidden passages maybe to navigate. I don't know. This is so weird and abrupt. Like, why? Rex takes a bite at a crime. I wonder if this means Rex the dinosaur.
So far, so good. Keep it up.
I wonder if this means I need to use the animatronic dinosaur.
Looks aren't every looks aren't.
Okay, so we can't look at Mace Wielder.
Welcome to the Linedecker Museum Dinosaur Display. My name is Rex, and I'd like to tell you about myself.
Like, maybe I gotta go this way and then hit him with the bone. Huh. Yeah, we keep getting the doink.
Oh, look. You pick. You pick.
So that's probably not it then. So I probably need to There's nowhere to hide in those other rooms though. So I need to... Maybe I need to go into the main hall and then make a big circuit around it And then...
So far, so good. Keep it up.
Are you kidding me? Okay. Alright, it's not that either. Alright, can't go into that room.
Oh!
You pick. You pick.
Like, I'm thinking, like, throw the shoe? But who throws the shoe, honestly? We don't have any more snake oil left. Like, can I bring the snake with me?
While this is an
No. This is probably also why they don't let you use the secret passageway, and they just straight up remove the mechanism to enter it, because you're supposed to do this sequence. Oh boy.
So far, so good. Keep it up.
Yeah, so far so good, huh? So can I walk around this? This is some Space Quest 4 shit right here. Okay, so we can do this and go into the old masters. Okay, so this... Nope. Still fucking dead. So the only room that it's given me room to maneuver around in has been the T-Rex room. And you're probably just supposed to, like, click the dinosaur bone on the door.
Oh!
And do a sneak attack. Like that.
You pick. You pick.
That's really the only thing I can think of. Because all the other rooms, you're just immediately killed. So it's gotta be that. And apparently we're gonna be knocking out Steve Dorian.
So far, so good.
I wonder if I can close that door. Dinosaur bone.
While this is...
Like, maybe you're supposed to wait here until the person appears. Nope, it just goes straight to you dead. So they give you a bunch of time in this room. Why is that? Like, maybe you gotta combine some items to make a trap or something? Do some, like, Home Alone trap or something?
You pick. You pick.
Man, I really wish you could save during this part. The only other thing I could really think of is closing the doors. Like, maybe if I close that first door into the main hall.
So far, so good. Keep it up.
And then, like, bolt it with the dinosaur bone. Okay, so this is a closable door. Maybe I can tie it with this. Okay. So that'll hold the door for a little bit. I can save the game now, too, more importantly. And then if I go here, go through the door. Jesus Christ. All right, close this door. Bar it.
The chest feels like the chest feels.
Get in the fucking chest. Okay, never mind. So we barred that door. Okay, and then if I go to the Egyptian... Oh, there's a chair here now. Okay, we can open that and then use this.
While the door...
I have to click.
It's the traditional sort of hinged transom that can be opened and closed for ventilation. It seems to have a lot of dust on it, as if it hasn't been used in a long time. Well-timed...
The fuck can I do with this now?
There's a thick coating of dust on the transom.
Okay. Maybe the bone, dinosaur bone solves a lot of problems. No. Dang it. Okay. Yep. Okay. I get maybe there's something new in the Egyptian room now. This is the Sierra game experience. Save /LB2/02. So the title of this area makes me suspect, like... Okay, I'm gonna make a second save here. Makes me suspect that this chase sequence ends in the T-Rex room. Because so far there's been no other use for the T-Rex room other than the bone. Okay, so maybe you do that to throw the killer off the trail or something, and then go in here and hide in this sarcophagus, and then give him the business with it. We hide in this. Okay. So maybe the door got broken down. Okay. So if I go in here then, the loading dock. Can I push this to...
You pull and pull at the knots, but they just won't come loose.
Okay, and then... Clip it.
While this...
There we go, yep. Maybe you're supposed to do that when the person's below it. I don't know. Is there another exit to this room?
A large crate is suspended from the crane arm. Oh, but there are so many places to put your hand. Where shall it be? Where shall it be?
What? What you doing?
Don't touch it. You don't know where it's been.
Why'd you have to run over there to say that?
The label on that crate must be really heavy. The label on the crate says Etruscan lead and iron funerary masks. That crate must be really heavy.
So I probably screwed up by...
Oh, but don't touch...
By not dropping it on our pursuer.
Don't...
Can I hide over here? I don't know what else I could do in this room. Ah, okay.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Why, what? What did I get? I put a whole ass mummy in my my purse.
It's a mummy from the Ptolemaic period, whose name was Pooh. Don't touch.
Can I get in the...
The lid won't open. Don't touch it.
What?
It's a mummified teddy bear. One of his black button eyes appears to watch you as you move around the room. Don't touch it. Don't... There is a cartouche on the teddy bear mummy's wrappings, identifying the cute little creature as Pooh too.
So can I leave this room somehow?
Don't.
We have a mummy.
While this
I have to stand over here and then... We still get the bonk. Okay. I still get the feeling that I should have dropped that big heavy crate on the like you're supposed to wait until the person's like underneath this and then you clip the thing and drop it on them. So I'm just going to have these ready to go. Yeah, these time sequences are brutal sometimes. Especially in some of the other games like Space Quest 4, if you don't patch the game and you play it on a computer that's slightly too fast, the time sequences are like... Oh, okay, so it's clearly not this. Yep, just stand right there, Laura. Good job. A sequence that's supposed to take like 10 seconds happens in like a frame. So it's very important that you either turn down your CPU clocks or you patch the game. And I did patch this game, so there shouldn't be any weird timing things. Okay, so we did that. The turbo button is, yeah, it usually goes between 33 megahertz or 66. That's what that was for. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that ran properly at 33 megahertz that did not work correctly at 66.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Okay. So we got the mummy. What? Oh, okay. We use it to bar the door. Okay. Sure.
Don't touch it. Don't touch. The lid won't open. You straighten out your dress. Don't...
Like, it feels like I'm supposed to be...
Don't touch... Don't touch... Don't... The lid... You can't reach the snake that way.
Snake? What? Oh, there's apparently a...
That's not... Upon close inspection, you see nothing new here. Upon...
What? There's a snake?
It's the lid to the mummy case of the Pharaoh Mackenzie-tep. A snake protrudes from the mummy case's headdress. You remember that the snake is a symbol of Egyptian royalty.
There's like 2 pixels of snake. How the fuck are you supposed to...
The snake shifts just a little, and you hear a click.
Okay.
You hear ominous chanting as you encounter a strange ceremony.
Ra ra sis boomba. Ra ra. Amen ra.
Oh my goodness. Excuse me, I was looking for the women's lounge.
You're coming with us, young lady.
I think you're making a mistake.
You've seen too much. We can't let you go.
Not to worry. I won't remember seeing this room, or you, or anything. Really, I've got a terrible memory. Can't even remember my own name half the time.
I'm sorry you found us. Our cult of Amon-Ra must remain a secret. There is too much at stake here. Too many important people are involved.
Cult of Amon-Ra? In the museum basement?
This room is a forgotten part of the original museum. We are safe here, as long as no outsiders are aware of our existence.
Oh, well, my lips are sealed. If you want to dance and sing and have little meetings down here, that's your business.
You cannot be trusted, Miss Bow. You're a newspaper reporter. We could be a featured article on page 1 of tomorrow's newspaper if we let you go.
But people are going to miss me. They'll search the museum.
The police will never find this room or your body.
You don't really plan to kill me, do you?
Of course not.
What a relief.
Kill is such an ugly word. Actually, we're going to sacrifice you to Amon-Ra.
Can we talk about this?
There is nothing to discuss. You should be proud to die in such an honorable fashion. Young Egyptian maidens used to fight for the privilege of being sacrificed to the great Amon-Ra.
Now, wait a minute. I thought the ancient Egyptians didn't make human sacrifices.
You're familiar with the history of ancient Egypt, Miss Bow?
Well, I've learned a few things.
Perhaps we could test you.
Oh, no.
Do I have any other options?
Oh, no.
We can test you or sacrifice you. It's your choice.
I'm liking this idea more and more. What kind of a test is it?
Amon-Ra may choose to intervene on your behalf. It is our tradition that we must let you live if you can answer Amon-Ra's riddle.
Great.
Of course, you'll have to answer the riddle with hieroglyphics.
I was afraid it would be something like that.
Oh my god.
Okay. What's the riddle?
Actually, it's a two-part riddle. What is the room you leave without entering?
The room you leave without entering. This is just a guess? But I'm gonna say the womb. My logic is sound, right? You're grown inside of it, but you technically never enter it, right? But you do leave it. All right, final answer.
That's correct.
Oh shit!
Now, the second riddle. What is the room you enter without leaving?
The room you enter without leaving. Either tomb or grave, probably. What is the name of the room you enter without leaving? It's probably meant to be a play on words with womb as well. That's just interchangeable, tomb and womb. So I'm gonna say tomb.
Very impressive. You are the first person who ever answered that riddle correctly.
Let's go!
The wise Amon-Ra apparently wants us to spare your life. Will you swear to keep our location a secret?
Of course.
Then you may leave. May the great Amon-Ra guide your footsteps.
Thank you. Now I just have to outrun the person who's been chasing me.
Who is chasing you? Do you think they'll find their way in here?
I'm not sure who it is, but I believe it's the same person who stole the Dagger of Amon-Ra from its display case. And I'm sure they'll find their way in here.
If that is true, they will not leave this room alive. I suggest you leave through our secret escape route behind the altar. Go now, and remember your promise.
Okay. Okay. That's... Oh, no. Oh, no. Steve. So Steve is either dead or he is just taking a break in the coal here.
There's an unconscious man in the coal bin. Although the coal has dirtied his face and hair, it looks suspiciously like Steve.
Steve. Oh no, Steve. So by the way, I'm just gonna mention, I did not look up the answer to that. The only two things that I looked up in this whole playthrough was that, how to get out of that stupid party sequence, or how to exit it, and then, how to get access to the basement, and that's it. So that was actually just straight up logic for that puzzle just now.
Steve, being the large, unconscious type stevedore he is immovable in his current unconscious state, and he's got coal all over his body.
Okay, this is probably what the smelling salts are for then.
While this is an interesting approach, while
Okay, so you probably have to...
Steve being... It's too heavy. You don't have room for it in your purse. It's not yours. You can't do anything with the shovel. You have more important things to do than use the shovel.
Okay, fine.
Besides, the shovel is rusted into place.
Oh, it's rusted into place. Sure. What about this other shovel? So he's covered in coal. The fuck am I supposed to do then? I'm supposed to magnifier
It appears to be a tall Caucasian male with smallish pores and good muscle tone. It appears to be a... The work boot is size 12 EEE. You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Why? He's unconscious. You just need to clear some... We put it back on his foot.
While
Jesus Christ. Just
Steve being the large...
Move the coal away. Okay, there we go. Okay, it was like this 2-pixel area that you had to click on. Oh, man. Okay. Ow! Steve, you idiot. Wait a second, did he just die?
Steve appears to be in great pain.
Here's his shoe,
While
Steve.
this isn't... While...
Steve?
Silence alone is great. Silence. Don't touch it. Don't. While this... Several gunshots ring out close by. You can barely hear anguished cries and shouts over the roar of the furnace. You'd better get moving.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
You pick it up.
So we get his shoe. Can I put his shoe back on him? Okay. Not while he's under there. And then it gives you like 2 seconds to put his shoe on or something.
Oh, my head. What happened? Laura?
Yes, Steve. I was so worried about you. Are you all right?
I think so. I remember hearing somebody coming up behind me, and as I turned around, somebody slugged me. Cripes, my head hurts.
They must have dumped you down the coal chute. Let me see where you were hit.
I'm all right. Don't touch it.
Honestly, you men can be such crybabies. Do you think you can walk? We have to get out of here. Somebody's been murdering everybody in this museum, and whoever it is after me.
I can make it. I'm with you. Where do we go?
Good question.
Okay. All right. I have control again. Hey, Croc. Okay. Steve saved. How about this obvious door? Or this grate?
This door is locked, and you don't have the proper key. The grate covering the drain is firmly bolted in place. Fortunately, there's nothing in the drain you require, and it's far too narrow for a human to enter.
Okay. About this. That's not how furnaces work. What the fuck? This is some Sierra logic here.
A large, circular, ornately carved stone is hung on the wall here. It seems to be attached to upper and lower tracks which run for several feet across the wall.
Upper and lower tracks? So we can move it aside, and then there's a... I love Steve's. Steve's walk's pretty good. Okay. Ooh, do I need to turn on my lamp first? This is probably gonna kill me because I didn't turn on my lamp. Oh, yep. Oh, good. Snakes. I don't have any more snake oil. Because I couldn't refill it after the last snake part. Were you really supposed to go and refill your fucking snake oil? Do I have to go do all this again?
You quickly reconsider this.
So there's hieroglyphics here.
How strange. Hieroglyphs are carved into the wall. You get the feeling that this is not just another air shaft.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. So IE. So. Oh my god. So bird. AP. APZO. APZOF. U. APZOFU. What? What the fuck? And then I can't even read the ones further up. And the ones behind the two characters, I can't tell. Shit. Yeah, throw the bottle at him. What? Okay, that worked. My bottle of snake oil was empty, though.
A bottle of Dr. Moribund's guaranteed snake oil. It's 1/4 full.
We magically got more snake oil? Okay.
There seems to be snake oil on the floor.
Okay. What do you bet if you walk on that, you slip on it and break your neck or something? Okay.
The hieroglyphs are deeply carved into the stone.
Okay. So we got foot, which is B. Bird is U. Y. Is this a fucking ad? B-U-Y. S-I-E-R. Fuck you. I'm pretty sure that says by Sierra Games.
You hear the sound of gunfire from the direction of the furnace room.
Sounds like someone's chasing us, Laura.
While this...
Okay, oh jeez. Okay. Of course they had to have a Sierra ad.
Watch in relief as the last of the rats scurries out of sight. You can barely smell an unpleasant odor, like burning hair.
Huh. Okay, so what is this then? Incredible. Incredible. Okay. Not sure what the rest of that message is. But it's some stupid ass Sierra advertisement. God, I translated that whole fucking.
You hear the sound of gun.
Yeah, like gunfire. Yep. I translated that whole message. Oh no. Okay, you're supposed to throw the cheese behind the rats. Otherwise, they just... You have a gnawing feeling. You made a horrible mistake, rats. Alright, I guess we're doing an all deaths run of this game. Great. Yep, the gnawing. Of course, they had to fit in more puns. I don't know, haven't you seen videos of like New York rats that just like take a whole pizza and drag it into the sewers? 5 rats working in tandem could probably drag a person into the sewers.
You hear the sound of gunfire from...
Alright, cheese goes here. Alright.
You watch in relief as the last of the rats scurries out of sight. You can barely smell an unpleasant odor, like burning hair.
So I think before I clicked on the left opening... Hey, Tiffany. So if I click on the right opening, maybe I won't fall in? Okay, that's a door and not... Oh my god. I knew it. I knew it. I knew there's gonna be some dumb use for that. Alright, out of the way, Steve. Oh, unless you press the button. Oh, and it chews him up. I knew it! I knew it! Got him. Alright, Scooby-Doo villain reveal. Who is it? It's a detective, probably. It's a detective. Okay.
With a little more effort, you'll be the best investigative reporter Tulane ever graduated.
Thank you for coming to this inquest, Miss Bow. As the coroner on this case, I'm going to informally question you and study the evidence you've collected. If you assist me in developing a case, the perpetrators will be tried in the formal court of law. We're primarily concerned with the museum murders, but we're also interested in the theft of the Dagger of Amon and other matters that may have a bearing on this case. My examination of the corpses has been fruitful, but I need more evidence to build a case. Any information you can give us would help, but you must justify your conclusions with the evidence you've acquired. False accusations and unsupported conclusions will not be tolerated. Although I don't wish to pressure you, your employer is also here to judge your performance on this investigation. Since this is an informal proceeding, I've allowed it on the basis that your newspaper will cooperate with our wishes. Now, to the questions. Who murdered Dr. Pippin Carter?
I don't fucking know. There was like 6 people. So Dr. Pippin Carter, he had the notepad on him. Oh God. I think that was Tut. Or No, that was totally Tut. The motive was revenge. I think. Revenge.
Who murdered Lawrence Ziggy Ziegfeld?
I honestly don't know. I don't even know who this is. Like, who even is that? So Ziggy was found beheaded. And the bloody thing, the bloody paper cutter was in Yvette's office. But I don't know if that like insinuates that she did it. But she's kind of the best option I got here. Like, Ziggy also had dirt on literally everybody. So I'm just gonna say Yvette. Sure. And it was probably protect a loved one, because she said she was trying to help out Ernie. I don't know if she's telling the truth though. So probably to protect.
Who murdered Ernie Leach?
Ernie. So Ernie was drowned in the specimen tank. And that might have legit been an accident, but then how would the body end up in where it was? I don't know if this is Ice Pick, because there's also Ice Pick. And I can't think of anybody else who'd have a beef with them. And Ziggy was already dead, so it couldn't have been Ziggy. I don't know if Steve is Ice Pick, or if that's a detective. I'm gonna say Ernie did it, and it was an accident.
Who murdered Yvette Delacroix?
Yvette was murdered by... So when she died, the Countess was alive. The detective was alive. And the detective was not happy that she was sleeping around. So I'm going to say the detective got her, and it was jealousy?
Who murdered Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton?
So she was probably killed by Dr. Vampire, Olympia Miklos. And that was probably for the thrill, because that's just how she is, I guess. I don't think that was to cover another crime. I'm not sure if she's a professional killer either. And this was a good day for her. So it was probably the thrill.
Who was the skeleton found in the steamer trunk?
Who was the skeleton? In the trunk, there was a pocket watch. So it had its head, so it's not Ziggy, it's not the Countess, it's not Tut, it's not the detective, it's not him, he's alive, him we saw, Steve still exists, it's not Wolf, so it's either Watney Little, whoever the fuck that is, or... It can't be Archibald because he was still dead on his desk. That was the guy on the porcupine. So it's got to be Watney Little.
Who actually stole the Dagger of Amon Ra from the Ancient Egypt exhibit?
That I'm not sure. It would have had to been somebody on the staff at the museum. And who had the most to gain? So it probably wasn't Ramses because he was doing his weird ritual stuff. I don't think it was Tut. It's weird that what's his face? The first guy that we found dead is not on this list because he could have stolen it. It might have been Ernie because he had to cover his gambling debts. Either that or it was So we ended up finding it in tank number 13. And the person who told told Ernie over the intercom to check tank 13, which ended up having the dagger in it. So Ernie was just there to fence the stolen item. He didn't actually take it from the enclosure. So, and I think it was Olympia is the one who told him hey, go down to tank 13. There's a thing for you. I think that was Olympia. I don't think that was Yvette. I'm trying to remember. It was either Yvette or Olympia. And I think it was Olympia.
Who was the woman involved in stealing paintings from the Old Masters Gallery?
The Countess?
Based on what we now know, your assumption is correct, Miss Bow. Good work.
All right.
Who was the man involved in stealing paintings from the Old Masters Gallery?
How the fuck would I know this? Yeah, maybe that means I messed up every single other one so far. It might have been Ziggy, because if the Countess was involved, every time we mentioned Ziggy to the Countess, she would get all flustered about, I don't know that guy. So it might be Ziggy.
Based on our own investigation, your conclusion is incorrect, Miss Bow.
Oh.
2 of the men who were murdered were involved with one of the female victims in a plan to steal the paintings. We have a report on that woman telling us she appeared at an appointment in the medieval armor exhibit sometime after the party. She was unaware that her partner in crime was dead at that point, and she was seen carrying paintings. If she'd been confronted at that time with evidence that her partner was dead, she might well have confessed to her crime. Who is the high priest of the Amon-Ra sun worshippers?
The high priest? None of them, because that doesn't exist. I don't want to be cursed by the pharaohs. Is it Steve? Was it Steve the whole time? It's probably Ramses, because he was the one talking to us. So, probably Ramses.
That's correct, Miss Bow.
Okay.
You're very observant. Which museum employee runs a fencing operation as a sideline business?
That is Ernie.
That assumption is correct. Mr. Leach was moonlighting with his own business as a fence installer. In fact, he put up a very nice fence around my house.
What?
Miss Bow, please remember in the future that you're a reporter, not a detective. By interfering at crime scenes, you make it much more difficult for the police to do their jobs. Not only are your conclusions based on unfounded guesswork, you don't even have any evidence to back them up. By your presence at the murder scenes and your destruction of evidence, I'm tempted to conclude that you were the murderer.
Uh-oh.
You neglected to thoroughly question all the suspects, and you missed important evidence at the crime scenes. Although you discovered the Dagger of Amon-Ra, you have not arrived at conclusions about the theft that make any sense to me. I believe the theft involved 2 people, one of whom must have been on the museum staff. Because of you, a murderer is running loose in this city, free to kill again. I hope you're proud of yourself, Miss Bow.
Boo.
Since his skeleton was so nicely cleaned by the domestic beetles, Dr. Carrington's bones will soon be hanging on display in the Leyendecker Museum. Yvette Delacroix died plastered. Her remarkably lifelike statue now lives on in the Old Masters Gallery of the Leyendecker Museum. Her memory lives on in the minds of all she touched. Her sculpture is attributed to artist unknown. Dr. Pippin Carter, wherever he is quite displeased. You did not recover the Dagger of Amon-Ra, nor did you find his murderer. Therefore, Pippin feels it is only fair that he should haunt you for the rest of your life.
Uh-oh.
Indirectly, as a result of your total failure, Wolf Heimlich was fired from his job as Chief of Security at the Leyendecker Museum. 1 year later, still out of work, he committed suicide in military fashion by falling on his sword. Having died in the course of this story, Watney Little's life of crime came to an abrupt end. As he was not a nice man, nobody missed him. After Wolf Heimlich was fired from his job as Chief of Security, Dr. Olympia Miklos moved to Montana to do full-time field research in paleontology, digging in the rich fossil bed she found there. Her greatest find was the carnivorous Olympiasaurus dinosaur. As fond as he was of the Leyendecker, Ernie Leach noted in his will that he wanted his body donated to the museum. His body now resides in numerous small jars of alcohol, which will be placed on display in the new Hall of Internal Biology, adjacent to the Hall of Late Mammals. Since the Dagger of Amon-Ra was not recovered, Dr. Patashep Tut Smith was forced to commit suicide with a fake Dagger of Amon-Ra from the Leyendecker Museum gift shop. After losing his head in the museum, Ziggy found himself unable to continue his criminal career. His head has been preserved and is now on display in the Life Mask exhibit at the Leyendecker Museum. Ramses Najir continued his successful career as an accountant and as head of the secret Egyptian cult of Amon-Ra. With his strong high society ties, his accounting business made Ramses a millionaire in 15 years. Having died from a snake bite, the Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carleton did not live long enough to inherit any money from her last husband, Sterling. Extremely unimpressed by your total failure as a reporter, Sam Augustini fired you. Later that same year, he was mugged with a gift shop duplicate of the Dagger of Amon-Ra and died from his wounds. He blames you for his death.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Since you were fired after your total failure at the museum, Crodfuller T. Rhubarb continued the investigation, found the Dagger of Amon-Ra and the murderer, and won a Pulitzer Prize for his excellent work. Henri Lemore, the coroner, continued his successful career studying dead bodies for the next 50 years, finally retiring in 1976 to tour with a rock band, the Ungrateful Dead. Low Fat continued in the laundry business, eventually opening a chain of low-fat Chinese laundries across the country and becoming a millionaire in the process. Detective Ryan Hanrahan O'Reilly continued in his job and became a full-time homicide detective. Having amassed a small fortune by being frugal, he retired to Ireland 3 years later. Steve Dorian was quite upset by the unfortunate event that happened to you later that night. Stunned by your total failure and the unfortunate event that occurred to you later that evening, John Bowe spent his remaining years in a New Orleans mental institution.
What the fuck?
After you gave it away, the Dagger of Amon-Ra vanished. 20 years later, in 1946, it mysteriously appeared on the doorstep of the Cairo Museum in Egypt. There was human blood on the blade, as if it was some kind of a message.
You had your chance and you blew it, Laura Bowe. This is what happens to interfering reporters.
The game was telling me I was doing so good throughout the whole game, and then it's like, no, you fucked up everything.
I want to marry an archaeologist and keep his artifacts warm. I travel with him through jungles and deserts and weather out every storm. If he wants me to, I'll burrow and dig on burials small and pebbles big. Oh, I want to marry an archaeologist. What a marvelous gig.
Roberta, not involved. At least with writing. That's interesting that Josh Mandel was the writer for this. I think he did the music for like Quest for Glory 4, I want to say. Oh, geez. I guess there is a lot of dialogue to lip sync, so I could have sworn it was automated, but I guess not. Configuration. I don't even know what they mean by that in the credits. Wait, Steve is Josh Mandel? Oh, man. Wait, who's the dinosaur, then? Okay, Crawdfaller's also Josh. Yeah, and... Okay, yeah. So it's just... They just pitch modulated his voice for a bunch of different... Great. I knew it. Blue person? What? Oh, Jane Jensen. Oh, that's... Yeah, okay. All right. So Jane Jensen was Thirsty Lady in the bar. I knew I recognized that voice. So in the original game, once you beat it, it gave you a score and a ranking. And I was just above barely conscious. I was in like rank 2 out of 6 or something. I wonder if this does that too. So I clicked on... Oh, it just... Great. Okay. Well... Unceremoniously dumped back to DOS and Windows. Interesting game. That one. All right. Let me... That. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, I'm assuming that my mistakes during that weren't just in the final like autopsy thing, and that I also probably missed a bunch of events as well during the game, because it sounds like I should have been in certain rooms at certain times to actually witness things happening. Like the guy said that there was somebody got a painting and was supposed to meet somebody else, and I actually wrote down those. Like he mentioned like 1 a.m. in the armor room with the Countess and Ziggy, and apparently that was supposed to be like the stolen painting handoff or something. And then notes for meeting Tut in the Egypt room and Carrington in the armor room. And during some of those people were dead during those times, so I don't know how you're supposed to make the logical leap to to put all that together. And then I could have sworn Laura had we had the dagger in our inventory at the end of the game. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I might have to like go and look it up and read a best ending walkthrough or something for this later to try and make sense of this, but I'm trying to process this and it's not making much sense. Alright. Laura Bow and the Dagger of Amon Ra. 12 hours, 46 minutes, 18 deaths, 81 saves. Done in 4 sittings. Completed? Yes. Cheated? Yes. The parts that stumped me for this one stumped me to the point of just looking it up so that I wouldn't spend even more time on it, was trying to end Act 2, and Act 2 was the party in the lobby of the museum. I couldn't figure out how to get access to the rest of the museum. Like, I was still stuck in that central area, and I couldn't go into the Mastodon room because the wolf would just tell you to go away. And the thing that I missed was I had used the magnifying glass on one of the daggers, and it said made in Pittsburgh. But you were supposed to use the magnifying glass on all of the daggers until you found the one that wasn't marked made in Pittsburgh. Like, okay, fine, sure. And then the second time was trying to get access to the underground area. And I mentioned earlier in the stream that that one, there actually was a scene in the game where they showed you how to do that. It was when I had left Dr. Vampire's office, and I saw her walk up to the top of the screen and go into that side alcove where the secret door is. And I was so fixated on her and her sprite walking on screen, or off screen, that I didn't notice that in the center of the room, the statue's head was up and out of place. And then when I went to the secret room and then back to that room, the statue was back to normal. Its head was back on there. And I did not notice that. And if I did notice that, I would not have had to look up that second thing. Because that was the other thing that was gatekeeping me out of, I think the end of Act 3 was being able to access the underground area. So that was it. And then everything else, I made it to the end of the game with what I did. Clearly there's a lot more stuff that could have been done there. Kind of similarly with the first game, I also just missed most of the stuff in the first game as well, so it's kind of the same thing here. But man, the ending that they give you in this game, if you don't find all the stuff, is really brutal. Holy shit. So we never hooked up with Steve, I guess. And then we're just murdered in our bed. That's wow. Interesting. That's pretty dark even for a Sierra game, but okay, sure. Alright, things I liked. Neat storytelling. Oh, you fell asleep? Yeah, you missed the ending. The ending was pretty fucking dark. Holy shit. Let's see. Neat cast of characters. Good art. Music was good when there was some. A little less boring than the first game. It looks like there's a lot of endings to this game. Potentially a satisfying payoff to the whodunit. That's probably all that really sticks out to me. Some real stupid puzzle solutions. Pixel hunting. And especially bad for there's a few occasions in this game where, like, not even for just solving puzzles, but for like just talking to other characters. Like, Laura would go and stand, like, here's a character, Laura would go stand like right in front of them, and you have to get this one little pixel on them is available for you to click on to continue the conversation. And God, it feels like there's a lot of little things like that could have been handled differently. Like, have them stand side by side if they're talking. They don't even have to like turn their sprites or anything. Just have that and have the talking heads. Stuff like that just drove me crazy, especially during the part of the game where going back to the really stupid puzzle solutions, the part in the party where I was like, for 2 hours, I was just talking to NPCs because I thought it was like you had to talk to each person about whatever suspicious thing was up with them. And then when that didn't work, I just started randomly clicking on things, and then it caused Laura to pathfind behind the table, and then it brought into that sequence that actually progressed the plot. It's like that just seems like bad design to me. That I literally stumbled into the solution for, I think, multiple things. I think there's at least 2 other things. I'm forgetting what they were, but there was at least 2 other things where the solution was just so stupid that I just bumbled into it. Let's see. So yeah, pixel hunting, and then also with the pixel hunting, there was the a few other like required puzzle things that the hotspot to click on it was like literally 3 pixels. And no, especially with mice this old that have trouble tracking that precisely, you can't have stuff like that, especially with this game being on a real-time clock, and that was also kind of a thing. Real-time clock system did not work very well. So it made more sense, I guess, in the first game to have the real-time clock thing, because it was constantly doing the, okay, it's 12:30, now it's 12:45, now it's 1 o'clock. In the first game, it marked progress, I think. But then in this one, it was more like, okay, the clock randomly struck 1. I don't know if it's because I fulfilled a puzzle thing, or if I missed something, or if it just does that randomly. Like, that, it just didn't make any sense in this one. And at least in the first game, it at least served a purpose. In this one, not so much. It was just kind of like, okay, somebody's probably dead because the clock thing appeared on the screen. So that I didn't feel like it fit. So that's that. What else didn't I like? Translating those fucking hieroglyphics. Yeah. I know it was only like 10 minutes, because I saw in the VOD it was like 10 minutes of writing those down. But still. Actually, no, it was 10 minutes writing it down, and then it was another like 15 to translate it. And it turned out to be just some stupid message. And then there's I guess the big payoff was the Sierra advertisement towards the end of the game. Like, if that's the big payoff for learning hieroglyphics, then... And then I guess you did need to know the hieroglyphics for answering the riddle at the end of the game too. And that riddle wasn't exactly difficult. Like, I have 3 brain cells tops, and I didn't have any trouble thinking that up. So, I don't know. That's a little disappointing that after that big chase sequence and all that, and then there's just a pretty easy riddle. But then again, you kind of don't want to get gate kept by something like that too, because that's... I'm assuming you just die if you don't get the riddle correct, so... Yeah. One thing or another, I guess. Anything else that I did not like? So I guess I'm trying to think back to... We picked up all that crap from the crime scenes. And it sure sounds like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. Because we were scolded for tampering with the crime scenes. And then, on the other hand, he also said, well, you don't have enough evidence to back up your claims. Like, well, what do you want? Do you want evidence, or do you want the perfect crime scenes? Like, shit. It makes me think, like, you're maybe supposed to not, like, use a magnifying glass and pick up anything, and that gives you a better ending, maybe? Like, fuck, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I'm really gonna have to look this up. I know, right? Like, we can see the things, but apparently we need that stuff in our inventory to... It doesn't appear in your notebook unless you pick it up, so... I don't know. I'll have to look it up later, because this is going to bother me now. I think that's it for the things I didn't like. I know, right? Alright. I'm sure this game had dank memes. D&B did not have any. Does this game have Mouse? I don't think it did. I'm trying to think. I don't think so. It had lots of dinosaurs. There was mention of aliens building the pyramids or something in that part of the museum, but that doesn't count. Oh yeah, unicorns in Alamau. No, those are cryptids, I think, is what the category of those are. And I don't think there's any descriptions of anything that was like an Alamau in the specimen tanks. I know there was the king from King's Quest in there, but pretty sure he wasn't an alien. Okay. Alright, difficulty is hard. So... There were a few things that stumped me. A couple things, and they turned out to be kind of dumb. One of them turned out to be a real dumb solution. Yeah, and well, here's the thing about getting the bad end, though. Every time I ended a chapter and it gave me like the ranking for the chapter, the game made it sound like I was doing great. It was like between chapter, I think 2 and 3, it was, Laura, you're doing great. Your dad would be so proud of you. And then the chapter after that was like, you did a great job. And then the one after that was, if you put in a little bit more work, you could be a really great investigative journalist. And then when we get to the ending, it's like, you're a fucking failure. You fucked up everything. Literally everything. I guess you're gonna die now. The killer gets away. Like, how do you go from that to the ending that I got? Like, it's so weird, and it's probably why they don't give you a ranking at the end or something. But that just seems totally, I guess, incongruous is the word I'd use for that. It just doesn't add up. Like, why would the game praise me between acts and then just totally shit on me in the ending? Because I feel like I got most of the like physical evidence. I didn't witness a lot of the people doing the crimes in the act, I guess, and maybe that counts for a lot in this game. But I don't know. So as far as how that factors into difficulty, it felt like the split between puzzle solutions that made sense and the puzzle solutions that had real adventure game logic was maybe 50-50. I'm going to say 50-50. A lot of the problems in this game were solved with the big dinosaur bone and just hitting it. And then there was also occasions of like, I used up all my snake oil on the snake and then I magically had more of it in the next act, and how that happened, I don't know. I guess for like the end game sequence, you can't fault it too much because that's just something you have to expect with an adventure game, like right here where Death Mountain is. That's kind of par for the course for adventure games, where you have to think fast, make use of all your things you've learned along the way and all that to get out of the problem and give a small amount of time to do it, and that's just standard adventure game fare. So it's kind of like everything from here backwards is kind of what I'm judging the difficulty on. And it's probably going to be about here. And my reasoning for not being just all the way on the hard thing here is that this requires at least some puzzles that you have to solve in order to advance the game. Some of those require some thought and just not mindlessly using items on items until something happens. A lot of them make sense. And you can get to the ending without being just completely stonewalled. The two things that I had to look up had really stupid solutions, so that's why I'll put that there. And then the only reason why it's not all the way up here is because it eventually got to the ending. If it literally just didn't give you the credits unless you got everything correct in that final sequence, then this would be a maximum difficulty, because that would be really fucked up if they did that. And I can't remember if the back of the box mentioned multiple endings or not, but I'm not even sure if I loaded my save and I redid that final sequence again, the final corner thing, if I put in all the correct answers, if I would still get a good ending or not. Because I don't know if the mistake for the ending happened here or if it happened like here, because I missed some random event out in the museum at 11:59 or something right here. I didn't see somebody carry a painting into another room or something, and that locked me out of the good ending. I don't know. There's stuff like that, kind of infuriating. So there's my reasoning for difficulty there. And then rating for this one. You do it over again if that was you? Yeah. I'm probably just going to look it up because if it were me, like, I honestly wouldn't know how to change my logic for how I came to a lot of those conclusions. So it would be random clicking. So that's why I'd probably just look it up, which is what I probably will do later. So this one, I've heard this game talked up by multiple different people, that this is not just their favorite adventure game of all time, but in like their personal top 3 of all video games. And these are people that I know have played a fair amount of video games, and they rank this game up there like better than nearly every other game ever made. I don't agree with them. I can see why this game would have a lot of appeal, especially to somebody who's like really into Clue, something like a Clue or a whodunit, things like that. Like maybe just their personal taste, they're really into that type of story. And as far as stories like that in video games and that style of gameplay, I'm not sure there's many other games that really scratch that itch besides games like this. So that's probably the only real reasoning that I can come up with why somebody would hold this game in just the highest regard. Like, I could see somebody saying, okay, this game's really good, this game's great and all that, but to call this, like, one of the greatest games of all time, I think that's a big stretch. This game's got plenty of issues that I think would disqualify that for me personally. But, you know, people like what they like. I liked a lot of things about this one. But Snow Neverhood, yeah. Oh man, like I'm so torn about this one. The setting's really cool. The setting's really cool. The puzzles just didn't make a lot of sense. Opinion scales of investment, yeah, like especially with the first game, like there's so much stuff that you can see if you treat this as like a 1,000-page novel, I guess, rather than a 30-minute cartoon or something. That's probably the difference here in design philosophy for this one. This one wasn't meant to be played just once, and neither was the first game. Like, this is one of those games that you need to treat it as like a D&D tabletop campaign or something. Like, you're not going to pick up on all the nuances the first time through. But still, even with all that, like, if you're asking the player to play through this game at least twice at that length, with as slow and seemingly random the events and gameplay can be, man, that's a big ask. That's a big ask. Especially with the, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's tedium because it's lore and world building, but having to go through that clunky ass dialogue interface for everything, where you gotta open up the notebook, go to the page for what you want, click on the thing, move your mouse all the way off to the side, right click until you get to exit, and then it starts the dialogue. And then once that's over, if you want to do a follow-up question, you gotta do the same thing again. God. Yeah, and the cool thing about the first game was you had the parser interface, right? So it actually felt like you were coming up with unique solutions to stuff. Did old Ernie make it out alive? Maybe not. Maybe not. You will find out the fate of Ernie not far into the final part. So you will not have to be waiting long into the VOD to see what happened to old Ernie. Because who knows? Maybe he just left the museum. I don't know. You'll see what happened to Ernie. Yeah, and I just kind of like just with the King's or the Quest for Glory games, I feel like this is the kind of game where it would have worked better as a parser game, where you're typing in exactly what you want to ask about to the characters and have a conversation with them, rather than this clunky ass notebook interface. I think that's the thing that's bothered me the most about this, is one, the clunky conversation interface, and then two, you have to examine every single thing like 5 times in this. Like you have to use the eye icon on something. You have to use the hand icon on something. Sometimes after you use the hand icon or the eye icon, it'll bring up the circle with the blow up thing of what it's magnified. And then you have to get out the magnifying glass and then look at it with the magnifying glass. And then when it's magnified, you can then touch and look at it again. And it's like, oh my God. They added too much complication to this. And it's like, in order to get the plot point or something, is just looking at it or touching it won't do it. You have to be magnified, and then you have to touch. It's stuff like that kind of really irked me throughout this playthrough. But that said, I'm not going to spend this whole time just shitting on this game. There's still a lot I loved about this game. I love the characters. There's a really cool cast of characters in this. They all felt... each of them had their own personality, which honestly in a lot of Sierra games lacking in personality, and I'd say this had it in spades. Even though it was the same voice actor for like a lot of the different characters, there was still enough to differentiate them with like their acting and then the backstories and the lore behind those characters. I thought that was really neat, and it was all stuff that you had to pay attention to in order to beat the game properly. So there was a point to having all that, the talking and the lore and the backstory. I like the art design to it, of the backgrounds and the character designs. I thought that they looked very good. Certainly a lot better than the other games that use that engine. So better than Space Quest 4, King's Quest 5, Quest for Glory 3. This one's probably the best looking of that SCI engine. Let's see. The music was good. Some parts were legit funny. Like Thirsty Lady in the speakeasy. I'm generally not a fan of puns, but some of them were actually pretty good. Let's see. There's probably a really good payoff at the end if you get all of the detective stuff correct, but I didn't, so we got the whoops, I guess you're dead ending. And I guess like another negative, if I'm gonna slip one in here, is there were too many spots in this game where it felt you were just kind of railroaded to a death. Like, whoops, I opened up the secret passageway and the game didn't give me an option to not go in it, so you just go in there and you die. And I guess similarly also with the end game portion, but then again, that portion's kind of its own thing. You can't really judge the rest of the game off of that. So yeah, I think all told, that's about how I feel about this one.
Welcome to the Enrichment Center.
It was all right.
Conversion gel.
It was all right. Would I call this one of the greatest games of all time?
Make lemonade.
Not really. I'm glad I played the series so that I know what people are talking about when they endlessly praise this game in the series, but it doesn't add up to me. Like, it seems they're trying to apply adventure game logic to like detective murder investigations, and no, I don't think that works. So anyways, that's how I feel about Laura Bow and the Dagger of Amon. Done in 4 parts, 12 hours, 46 minutes. We'll see. I'll look up what the best ending is and all that, and the logic you have to do to reach it. But oh man. All right, there we go.